Hello? That works better. Thank you, colleagues, for coming here today, and thanks to Fixer for organising this Taking Initiative and its demonstration. We're very happy to support. We're very happy to stand in the shadow of the WIPO building here, very beautiful building. We understand the Director General is, which floor is he? The 13th floor, so you can wave to him. Obviously this is a very important demonstration because despite everything that's gone along and everything that's been reported in the press, nothing's changed on the 13th floor. We still are where we are, and it seems, you know, at one point we felt that with the OIOS report, there was actually going to be a big change. But a lot of member states just sort of, they just sort of covered up. They decided not to do anything about it. I think they're hoping that it's all going to blow away, and that if we don't do anything, they can just forget it. The DG will stay because he was, I think, reappointed a year and a half ago. He'll live out the rest of his mandate, and nothing will happen, and the staff of the WIPO can just sort of go on in the horrible conditions and demoralised working atmosphere of retaliation that they work in. So it's very good that we keep up the fight. We've also, I think, we'll get some press coverage too. But we have to keep this issue alive, because if we don't, then this is what's going to happen. And if other, and as has been said, if other organisations see this impunity at WIPO, that gives them carte blanche to do what they want in their own agency. So it's very good to hear so many of you here today. I think it's Miranda Brown, or is it Gemma? Miranda. Where did Miranda go? Oh, here.
Thank you. Well, thank you all of you for being here today. My name is Miranda Brown, and I used to work
Il y a une petite flamme, mais essayez quand même. Sinon, je récolte.
The position I occupied was a senior position in the organisation. I came to that position from the Australian government, where I worked as a deputy permanent representative in Geneva. And I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a flavour of how things operate at WIPO. Frankly, nothing prepared me for what I saw there. I arrived, I tried to fix several of the problems that I encountered in the organisation, starting with the relationship with the staff council, which had deteriorated. But sadly, the Director General was unwilling to negotiate and deal with divisive issues. And I then uncovered that the organisation had been shipping American computers to North Korea and Iran, definitely in violation of US sanctions, but also without the approval of member states. After I reported this to the Director General and to member states, I was forced to leave the organisation. Can you still hear me? Yeah, that's better. I was forced to leave the organisation, and as I left the organisation, I reported the theft of DNA from WIPO staff. Some of you may have read about this story, and essentially WIPO staff had their several WIPO staff had their personal effects stolen from their offices and their DNA extracted illicitly by the Swiss authorities. And there was subsequently an investigation into this. As you heard from Ian, the investigation actually confirmed the theft had occurred, but there's still no accountability for what happened. So I really want to thank you all for being here. As Ian said, if we don't stick together, we won't have much chance in changing things at WIPO. I'm optimistic. I think we've got some member states who will re-engage and demand accountability, and I hope that the situation will be resolved soon. So thank you again for coming today.
Is Monsef around? Monsef? I don't see Monsef, unfortunately, so Ed will be our next speaker. As you know, Ed is one of the key Geneva lawyers who is helping the WIPO staff. Ed?
Thanks, Gemma. Thanks to everyone for coming. It's very important that you're here in support of WIPO staff and all international civil servants, because the attacks that are happening against WIPO staff members now can very easily start happening at your organizations too. What I'm going to briefly just speak about is just another example of how rogue the WIPO administration has become. Many of you may not be aware, but soon the existing WIPO Staff Council may not exist anymore, thanks to the machinations of this current administration. WIPO Staff Regulation 8.1 provides that the right of association in the interest of the staff shall be represented before the Director General by a Staff Council elected by the staff members. For a long period of time, the practice at WIPO has been for the Staff Council to be elected by staff members who are also members of the Staff Association. This practice has been expressly acknowledged by the WIPO administration, including in prior ILO 18 litigation. Notwithstanding this, in November of 2014, the WIPO Director General sent an email message to all WIPO staff members in which he expressed a new interpretation of Staff Regulation 8.1. Contrary to his own prior interpretation of this regulation and that of the two prior WIPO administrations, he now stated that non-staff association members should be able to vote in staff council elections. He then directly encouraged all staff members to take action by aligning themselves with this new interpretation of 8.1. Within a few months of this encouragement, some staff members began circulating a petition to obtain the minimum number of signatures to submit a change to staff regulations, change of the interpretation to the Joint Advisory Group. The Joint Advisory Group, upon receipt of this petition, then proceeded to review. In its report from June of 2015, which contained certain recommendations in line with the DG's prior email, a new interpretation of 8.1 was adopted, and now the WIPO administration, in gross violation of ILO 18 jurisprudence, fundamental rights of association, has formed and has set up a new election, which will happen in the coming days or coming weeks. And it's just an outrage. This is a gross violation of all WIPO staff members' rights of association, and is just incredible evidence of how rogue this administration has become. Had it been done by a private entity, you know, there would have been some outrage. But this is being done by a UN specialized agency, a UN that's supposed to protect workers' rights, that's supposed to care about workers. Where's the outrage of the member states that are allowing this to happen? Where's the outrage of the other UN organizations that's allowing this to happen? Shame on all of them. This is on their heads. And now is the time for all international civil servants to show solidarity with their WIPO brethren and demand accountability from their own member states and from their own administrations. This cannot continue. And as I said at the beginning, be very careful. This may soon come to your own organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ed. Our next speaker would be Joel, or the president of CERN.
I'm not the president of CERN. President of CERN Staff Association. And I will speak in French, so I count on you to translate to you. Chers collègues, chers amis, il y a 2 ans, nous étions déjà réunis sur cette même place des Nations pour dénoncer des comportements inacceptables envers des représentants du personnel de l'Organisation mondiale de la propriété intellectuelle. Pourtant, le personnel de l'OMPI doit encore faire face au diktat d'un directeur général qui pense avoir tous les pouvoirs et fait fi des règles établies et qui se moque des principes et accords qui régissent les relations entre les directions des organisations internationales et les associations ou comités du personnel. Il est absolument intolérable et parfaitement inacceptable pour le personnel et ses représentants d'avoir à subir la pression qui est actuellement imposée par le directeur général de l'OMPI. L'organisation d'élections par la direction en vue de la constitution d'un comité du personnel alternatif qui sera à la botte du directeur général va à l'encontre de toutes les règles et instaure un climat malsain de suspicion dans l'organisation. La liberté syndicale et la négociation collective font partie intégrante de notre statut au CERN depuis sa création il y a plus de 60 ans. C'est pourquoi nous avons été très choqués par la situation qui perdure à l'OMPI. L'association du personnel du CERN tient à marquer aussi son attachement profond au respect des règles qui font partie intégrante de la crédibilité et de la confiance que les États membres mettent dans les organisations internationales, qu'elles soient dans le système des Nations Unies, européennes ou indépendantes. L'association du personnel du CERN tient à vous assurer, les délégués et représentants du personnel de l'OMPI, de son total soutien dans le combat que vous menez pour l'exercice de vos fonctions syndicales et pour le respect des conditions qui prévalent dans toutes les organisations internationales. La liberté et l'indépendance syndicale sont indispensables au bon fonctionnement de nos organisations. C'est pourquoi l'association du personnel du CERN propose ici même une résolution pour dénoncer les comportements inacceptables de la Direction générale de l'OMPI. Nous proposons que l'ensemble des associations du personnel des organisations basées à Genève signent cette résolution au travers des deux fédérations présentes ici ce midi, la FICSA et la CISUA. La résolution sera ensuite transmise au secrétaire général de l'ONU, aux principales missions diplomatiques représentant les États membres à Genève, ainsi qu'à nos directions respectives. Face aux attaques de quelques-uns, c'est ensemble que nous sommes et serons toujours plus forts. Alors à nos collègues de l'OMPI, ne lâchez rien, vous êtes dans votre droit et nous sommes avec vous. Merci.
Thank you, Gerda. You know, CERN has this very exciting concept of having this vest for our next demonstration this year, because I think we need a series of this. I would urge all the staff associations to think of having the same thing. Okay, our next speaker is Dr. Evan Kortum from the WHO HQ Staff Association, but I think she'll be speaking on behalf of all of our WHO staff associations, not just headquarters.
Thank you, Gemma. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you here. Colleagues from WHO are joining you today to demonstrate solidarity with WIPO staff. The UN needs to be a respectful workplace, and what happens at WIPO seems to defy basic forms of respectful interactions between the Director General and his staff. We feel that this is unacceptable and a clear breach of the UN Code of Conduct. We cannot close our eyes and let this become common practice. This cannot be allowed to be a precedent for future standards of behavior in the UN common system. Let us all stand in for the values of the UN, which are based on respect, fairness, honesty, truthfulness, and integrity.
Thank you, Evelyn. Our next speaker is ITU. Henry Louis, please. ITU? Oh, Christine.
Thank you. De la part des représentants du personnel de l'UIT, nous tenons à soutenir tous nos collègues de l'OMPI contre les agissements inacceptables du directeur général et le manque d'éthique évident. Nous étions là il y a 2 ans, nous sommes là aujourd'hui et nous serons là demain. Vous pouvez compter sur nous. Merci.
Thank you, ITU. Thank you, Christine. Bravo. Next speaker is ILO. Please.
Hi, greetings. I'm Dan Cork, first Vice Chairperson of the ILO Staff Union. 7 years ago, the ILO staff were in the midst of our own struggle to ensure our right to free association. We would not have been victorious if not for all of you and all for the staff of WIPO, the staff union, colleagues and allies in the UN. So we're here today to demonstrate our solidarity with WIPO staff and to call attention to the practices of this gentleman, if we can call it that, at the top of the building over there. WIPO staff are not asking for the moon. They're demanding the same rights that the ILO conventions guarantee for all working people. The right to freedom of association, the right to organize, free of threats of reprisals, free from management interference, whether it's setting up a yellow union, intimidation, or sacking trade unionists. The ILO staff union, which represents ILO staff all over the world, stands with you, WIPO staff, in your rights to the right to organize, the right to freedom of expression inside and outside of your workplace. Freedom of association is guaranteed by Convention 87, as we know. It's the right of all workers and employers. It means democracy and accountability in industrial relations. The right to organize, as we all know, under Convention 98, when respected by the employer, can give workers confidence and strength to advocate for their right to decent work. But that's not the case today with WIPO. Within the enterprise, there's an opportunity, right? Within WIPO, they do things right, management changes. These rights can create the possibility of real social dialogue. Imagine that. Good for the enterprise, good for the enterprises, WIPO's reputation, we have social dialogue. Trade union rights help companies, right? They're not a bad thing. Today's the day when WIPO administration and the governing body can declare their support for freedom of association for WIPO staff. Today's the day when respect for freedom of association and the ability of the WIPO Staff Council and its association members to operate with full autonomy can change the reputation of WIPO, make it a good place to work. Why not stand for something good? Why not stand for something that we respect those rights of our staff? WIPO Staff Council is the legitimate body that represents the rights and interests of WIPO staff for 58 years. Can't let this union be busted. We have to stand firm, we have to stand strong. We are with you, we will be with you. We salute your courage, we salute your perseverance. We won't let you down.
Thank you, ILO. Next speaker, UNHCR. Asha.
Thank you, Gemma. I simply would like to say that UNHCR is here today to stand in solidarity with all the colleagues here today and echo in saying that this kind of behavior committed by WIPO management is neither acceptable at WIPO nor in any UN organization or agency, and we must stand up, and we are standing up against such behavior.
Thank you, UNHCR. And we are in this beautiful city of Geneva, international civil servants. We are supported by the local unions here. CGAS is here, so let's welcome them for a speech.
Je m'appelle Blaise Prousier et je vais m'exprimer le soutien de la communauté genevoise d'action syndicale, dont les 21 composantes membres comptent plus de 38 000 affiliés dans le canton. Donc je m'exprime en français, je m'excuse. Nous sommes nombreux aujourd'hui pour défendre le respect de l'organisation du personnel de l'OMPI face à un employeur qui bafoue les droits des travailleurs et la déclaration de Philadelphie de 1947. La tentative du directeur de l'OMPI d'imposer aux salariés de son institution un mode de désignation de leurs représentants est contraire au 5e principe déclaré par l'Assemblée générale des Nations unies. La reconnaissance effective du droit de travail, de négociation collective et la collaboration des travailleurs et des employeurs à l'élaboration et l'application de la politique sociale et économique. En Suisse, la loi fédérale sur la participation de 1993 oblige l'employeur à s'entretenir avec la délégation des travailleurs librement élus, avec les représentants du syndicat ou de l'association du personnel s'il compte plus de 10% des effectifs. Il est vrai que l'OMPI n'est pas un employeur soumis aux droits du travail suisse et non plus une nation qui doit respecter les droits universels et fondamentaux. C'est pourquoi la CGAS regrette que le Conseil fédéral sur la gestion des ressources humaines et sur les conditions de travail au sein de l'ONU et de ses agences spécialisées n'ait pas convaincu les Nations Unies dans leur 60e session de donner suite à la 5e recommandation du rapport du corps commun d'inspection de 2011. Si cela avait été le cas, le secrétaire général et les chefs de secrétariat des organes et programmes administrés séparément devraient appliquer au personnel de leurs entités respectives les normes et les principes pertinents de l'Organisation internationale du travail. La constitution de ce canton stipule que les conflits sont réglés en priorité par la négociation et la médiation. Monsieur le directeur Francis Gury ne semble pas connaître le sens de ces mots. Parce que nous sommes nombreux et que nous sommes l'évidence de la liberté syndicale, nous devrons contraindre à un meilleur entendement celui qui se dresse aujourd'hui comme un adversaire de cette liberté. La CGS salue l'action du syndicat et la détermination du personnel de l'OMPI. La CGS salue la solidarité des travailleurs des autres institutions internationales. La CGS se déclare prête à œuvrer concrètement contre l'arbitraire. Vive la liberté syndicale et vive la solidarité syndicale internationale.
Thank you so much. We're reaching the end of this demonstration. For 2017, let's not rest until that person over there is active. We created a Fixa Twitter account with a hashtag of Oust WIPO DG. So our Fixa name is Fixa HQ. Please look at that hashtag, and also this will be posted also in the CISWA website. Let's support each other. Let's see what's going on, and sometime when the weather is warmer, we might have another demonstration. Okay? Until the person over there is out, let's not rest, because enough is enough. Before we disband, can we just chant Oust WIPO DG 3 times? Oust WIPO DG! Oust WIPO DG! Oust WIPO DG! Thank you. Merci.
Oui. Non, je suis déjà venu en dehors d'une quelconque. Ça me donne mal comme ça, mais...